Hello, a very warm welcome to Box Park in Wembley. What a show we have for you on Saturday night, topped by Adam Azim taking on Santos Reyes. Alongside me, Matt Macklin and Johnny Nelson.
And almost Andy Scott when he gate crashed the show. Not dressing.
And he stopped sort of moonwalking backwards, wasn't he? What's the hat for? It's roasting in it.
No, not outside. Not on this bald head it isn't. No, I'm afraid not.
It's allowed, it's allowed. It really is a show that has, well, something for everyone, doesn't it, on Saturday night? It's a really good bill, Matt. Who are you looking forward to?
Yeah, good card. I think it's hard to look past the main event. Adam Azim is really blazing through opponents, destroying everyone that's been put in front of him, blistering speed, good power. So just want to see, this is a tougher test for him with Reyes. So, can he pass this one with flying colours as well? Because so far, nobody's been able to stand up to him.
Reyes is unbeaten, but how many problems do you think he will cause Adam Azim on Saturday night?
He needs to create as many problems as possible for us to see the depth of Adam, to see how good he actually is, because everything's gone his way so far, and he's made easy work of the work that's been put in front of him. So on paper, this looks like a good test. If Adam makes this look easy, then it then solidifies the fact that we think this kid can be a world champion.
Would this be a sort of a good yardstick, do you think, for Adam Azim? Like you said, just to see where he's at.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about yardstick because it's in terms of comparable opponents of where Reyes has fought. So we know how. It's hard to see on his record. He's undefeated, but we don't even know how good he is. But if Adam Azim comes out and blasts him out again, then you start thinking, all right, okay, now we have to. We need someone that can test him. Which
is great. We love seeing that. We love seeing these explosive knockouts, the big celebrations. But in terms of learning and progressing, Johnny, for Adam Azim, how much does he need to be tested? How much does he need to get some proper rounds under his belt?
He's too good for his own good. Yeah. That's the problem. And because of what he's doing, how he's doing it, he's going to suffer the consequences of a lot of potential superstars in the past, which is he's making easy work, saying he's not getting the experience, and then all of a sudden when he gets tested, gets hit with a shot or something wrong happens, he's falling to pieces. He's just, at this stage in his career, what he's doing as a professional fighter is well beyond anybody at that level. And you can just see
what's really important here is, firstly, two things. One, that the matchmaker is very realistic with what they've got, and also the manager who's okay in the opponents. Because I remember years ago, it was around a time when I was turning pro, there was a guy called Francisco Bajardo.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And he was blitzing everybody. He was like the second coming. He was going to be the best thing ever. And they rushed him, they threw him in too deep, put him in against an old veteran who outlasted him, beat him in a couple of back-to-back losses, and he just got forgotten about. And that guy had the potential, they believed, to be one of the pound-for-pound greats, but they messed the job up. They rushed him, they threw him in too deep, too quick. So as much as we're all getting excited by Adam Azim,
there is so much hype around him. I mean, it's mainly coming from all of us, but we are seeing it in the ring. Ben spoke about on Wednesday at the press conference workout that we had just how hard it is to matchmake Adam Azim at the moment, because he is that high risk, low reward, isn't he, at this stage?
And fighters who have built up a decent record or reputation, ranking themselves, don't want to risk it against the younger guy coming in behind them. They're thinking, well, I'm up here now, I've worked hard to get here, I don't want to risk it fighting him. So, it's going to cost Boxer a lot of money to pay these guys to fight him.
You've got to commend the Boxer, you've got to commend Sky for actually saying, right, we've now got to take a risk with you that could potentially be our golden goose. So now they've got to pay for opponents that are going to test. So they've got to go into the unknown. They've got to stay. Usually if they're picking an opponent, they've got a good idea the odds weigh on the side of their man. Right now, they've now got to pay for opponents to say, right, we've got to test him to see if this kid's a real deal.
Well, another fight that we're all looking forward to seeing, a bit of a, should we say, a left field fight, I think it's fair to say. Zach Chelli, Anthony Sims. We're all kind of a bit surprised by that one, but has the potential to be a really, really good fight, man.
So when I looked at this, I thought, they're trying to build Chelli, what are they? And I thought, no, maybe they're just trying to make a good fight. We know Chelli is aggressive, he's intense.
Confident, very confident.
Absolutely believes in himself, but Sims is definitely a lot more polished, and I think Chelli's a sizable underdog in that fight.
This is my. You were saying what's the fight you're looking out for tonight. That's this one. I think Zach Chelli, Matt and I were speaking about it just before he came on air, and I'm thinking, am I seeing something wrong here? Because it looks like Chelli's up against it. He's the one that's like, you'd expect to lose here. Yeah. So it's a big risk. So are they trying to get rid of him, or do you think he potentially can be, catapult himself to get a world ranking? But it's a tough fight.
Well, it is all about the weigh-in today, and the fighters will face off for the final time. Let's get the weigh-in underway then and hand you over to Big Mo for the introductions.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us here at Box Park Wembley, and our viewers joining us live on Sky Sports. And welcome to the official weigh-ins for tomorrow night's clash. Welcoming back, headlining Adam Azim live from the OVO Arena here in Wembley. We have 9 bouts on the card tomorrow night, and we begin first with 6 3-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Before we bring our fighters up, we would like to thank our headline partner, Bet365, with our official partners, Everlast, Village Hotels, FCI Markets, and the official presenter of today's weigh-ins, Wow Hydrate. And now, ladies and gentlemen, bring up our first fighter to the scales. He comes to us from El Fuerte, Sinaloa, Mexico, introducing Hector Manuel Avila Lozano. Official weight 8 stone, 13 pounds, 5 ounces for Hector Lozano. And his opponent. He comes to us with a perfect, undefeated record of 6 victories with no defeats. Coming to us from Maida Vale, London, England, here is Razor Ali. Official weight 8 stone, 12 pounds, 5 ounces for Razor Ali.
So it has been so far so good for Razor Ali, 6-0 so far for him. What are you expecting in this one, Matt?
Yeah, I think Razor Ali is, looking to push on in his career. He wants to, he's 6-0, undefeated. He's on a big card here, 25 years old. Wants to, get everyone speaking about him, put on a blistering performance.
And it's a good platform, Johnny, to make your name, isn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt. And Spencer Oliver's heavily involved in him. And I know Spencer, when he's got his teeth into any fighter, he's going to make sure he's got the fundamentals. But I think he'd be advising him more than anything else. Depend on either strength or skill, and Razor has both.
Who wants to give in this, Matt?
Yeah, good stare down there. I was speaking to Ali just before. He's really, really keen to put on a big performance tomorrow night.
Moving along, ladies and gentlemen, to our next clash, scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first to the scales, he comes to us with a professional record of 15 victories versus 9 defeats, with 10 wins coming by way of knockout. From Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, here is Abdallah Luanja. Official weight, 10 stone, 4 pounds for Abdallah Luanja. And his opponent, he'll be fighting out of the red corner Saturday night at the OVO Arena. He comes to us from Slough, England, with a perfect, undefeated record. He is known as the Hitman. Here is Hassan Azim. Official weight, 10 stone, 9 pounds, 5 ounces for the Hitman, Hassan Azim.
So Hassan Azim fighting on Saturday night, a brother, of course, of Adam, but Hassan making his own waves in his own right as well.
Yeah, exactly. They're both, in the very early stages of the career, and at the minute they're putting on the shows together because it makes sense. They train together, but eventually they'll carve their own direction. And Hassan, he can point. He's got good power, and he's come on nicely.
But I think Hassan is very aware of it, isn't he? He's comfortable at the pace that he's moving at. He knows he's on a different trajectory to Adam.
Yeah, it's like, there's no pressure on him. Slips under the radar, learns his trade. Of course, like it or not, whenever his brother boxes, they're trying to game on the bill. But maybe he's in a better position just to develop, make his mistake.
Because the pressure's off him a little bit.
Without
the eyes
doubt,
aren't all
the pressure's on his brother.
Going his way,
Yeah, all the pressure's on his brother, but he sees what works and what doesn't work for his brother. So, again, he can get on with the job. But, they'll try and make sure every fight isn't an easy fight for him if they want to develop him correctly. They've got to matchmake him right.
Up next, ladies and gentlemen, 8 3-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first to the scales, he comes to us with a professional record of 9 victories versus 2 defeats. 6 of those wins coming by way of knockout, and he hails from Masvingo, Zimbabwe. Here is Brendan Dennis. Official weight, 10 stone, 11 pounds for Brendan Dennis. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner tomorrow night. He comes to us from Los Angeles, California, USA, by way of Smithborough, Ireland. Introducing the undefeated knockout artist, 11 knockouts, 12 total wins, no losses. Here is Stephen, the Hitman McKenna.
You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
Official weight, 10 stone, 13 pounds for Stephen, the Hitman McKenna.
Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter, tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down.
Stephen McKenna, Brendan Dennis, 8 rounds at welterweight on Saturday night. Matt, you know Stephen McKenna very well. We last saw him box in Bournemouth. He put down his opponent Rojas twice before stopping him in the second round. How impressed have you been with him so far?
Yeah, so I watch him quite critically because I know him, I know the dad, and I want to see them go on and progress. So I'm looking at, I'm obviously seeing what he does well, but I'm also trying to see where it can go wrong or what he needs to improve on.
Well, let's break it down for us then.
Well, he's really exciting. He throws lots of leather, goes at a mad pace. But my biggest concern from him is that when he steps in there with someone into the 12 rounds that can go back with him, that he's going to punch himself out. He wins rounds by 50 punches when you only need to win them by maybe 5 or 6.
Do you think that's anything to do with his he works a lot in the wildcard gym? In the wildcard gym, you know what it's like in there. It's a war zone. Sparred a lot with Lomachenko. And that's a habit to try and break out of. It's hard to try and break out of that, where you could throw...
Yeah, he's a bit of a warmonger, which he needs to... I know he's got that in the locker, but you don't need that every single fight. Like, I guarantee you...
You can see the tension right up there now, can't you?
I guarantee you tomorrow night when the bell goes, he won't stop throwing punches. Which is great for the fans and it's exciting, but as he steps up the levels...
Long term, you're going to tire yourself out.
Yeah.
You're going to... Yep.
Exactly. He's got to learn to pace it a bit better.
Moving along, ladies and gentlemen, in the super middleweight division, this clash is scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds tomorrow night here in Wembley. Introducing first, he will be fighting out of the blue corner, and he comes to us from Roubaix, Nord, France. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mohamed Sharif Benchadi. Official weight 12 stone 5 pounds for Mohamed Benchadi. And his opponent, he comes to us from Luton, England, with a perfect undefeated record of 4 victories and no defeats. He is known as the Wanderer. Here is Jordan Reynolds.
In the 6th century, a small settlement was formed called a Tun by the River Lee. By the 10th century, the little settlement of Lee Tun had grown into a town of more than several hundred people. Lutonians have always faced unfounded battles throughout the history, from fighting side by side with King Alfred.
Official weight 12 stone 3 pounds 5 ounces for the Wanderer, Jordan Reynolds.
Being one of the roughest in the country. Nothing has changed throughout history. We still.
So we know Jordan Reynolds, he's a popular fighter from Luton, and he's 4-0, so it has been so far so good. He takes on quite an experienced opponent in Benchadi. What do you think is going to happen in this one, Johnny?
When he's 7 years old, he was an exciting amateur. I think he'll try and bring that excitement to the pros, but it's a completely new game. He'll bring the fans and want to see how he develops. And as long as he keeps his faculties together and shows the skill what he's got, he's actually a really nice kid, an underrated kid. I've done a couple of events with him, and how he talks about the game, his grafting, his backstory, it's hard, it's tough. You know, so he needed boxing, and boxing done him a great favour.
Big fan of 1950s music as well, apparently.
Nothing wrong with that.
TV show a little bit of background for you, just what you needed for Saturday night. It's a great stage though when you're this early on in your career. It's a great stage to try and impress, isn't it?
Yeah, it's when it's all really exciting. You know, you're very much on the way up, aren't you? And everything's exciting, and every performance you want it to be your best performance, and you got to learn as well. And not every performance is going to be all glitter. You've got to.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, moving along to the heavyweights. This bout is scheduled for 8 3-minute rounds and features 2 undefeated fighters. First, he comes to the scale standing 6 feet 6 inches tall with a perfect undefeated record of 5 victories, no defeats, and 1 draw. Fighting out of Torquay, England, here is Dirty Harry Armstrong. Official weight 18 stone, 7 pounds, 5 ounces for Dirty Harry. And his opponent, fighting out of Tottenham, England, with a perfect undefeated record of 3 victories, with 2 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Jamie TKV.
All through your body, the blows like a 12-gauge shot. Feel me? And God said He sent His one begotten Son to lead the wild into the ways of the man.
Official weight 18 stone, 8 pounds for Jamie TKV.
I'm looking forward to this one, Matt. Jamie TKV, he's quite an exciting fighter to watch.
Yeah, he's quite fluid and relaxed and loose. You know, he's got a nice pro style. Left it quite late to turn professional, but so I don't know what his aspirations are, how far he believes he can go, but he's certainly enjoyable and entertaining to watch.
First 8-rounder for both fighters on Saturday night, Johnny.
Don Charles in the other corner with Harry Armstrong. So he doesn't give his fight awards away easily. And he's unbeaten. So I think this will be a good matchup. It's not a one-sided fight on paper anyway. So
what would you like to see?
I'd like to see Jamie step up now and just show his difference in talent, his difference in class to the fighters that are around him. Right now he's still a bit of a mystery. That's not had any hiccups at the moment. So we want to see why when he steps out and beats somebody else that's unbeaten, and see how he handles that.
With the heavyweights, there's always the keenness, the want, the desire to get the knockout, the early knockout, and to really impress. I mean, you've got to sort of manage that, haven't you? You want to get it, but you don't want to put too much pressure on it.
No, well, when you look for the knockout, they usually don't come. When you relax and box, it comes. So yeah, look, what happens when you start trying to load up, you get tighter, you start telegraphing your shots, you burn more energy. But the more relaxed you can be, the better.
A few verbals there between Harry and Jamie.
Trying to goad Armstrong to probably undermine him, getting to his head a little bit. So you know what he was trying to do.
All right, well, let's hear from both fighters now. They're with Andy Scott.
Thanks very much. 2 big men and a disputed sparring session 10 years ago. One thing that you can agree on is this fight is not going the distance. Harry, just how excited are you for this opportunity? And tell us why you win this one.
I've been waiting for an opportunity like this for many years. I'm really excited. I'm just going to beat him up and stop him in the later rounds.
Do you rate him at all? Have you seen anything of him yet?
I rate him. I rate everyone I get in the ring with. But this is my time. My time to shine.
Jamie, tell us how excited you are for this one and presumably why Harry is wrong.
Listen, I'm excited for this one. I'm excited to put on a good show for you guys, and Harry's wrong. I don't believe he's capable of even stopping me, and I don't think he has the heart to be in there with me because I'm going to take him to the trenches. Believe that.
Do you believe you hit hard enough to stop him?
100%. You'll see on the night. You'll see Saturday night.
Final words to both of you. Your prediction, Harry.
Be ready because I'm coming.
I'm more than ready, man. You don't need to say that. I'm more than ready.
Best of luck. 2 big men. We're expecting fireworks in this one.
You can just see sort of Andy backing away in that one, going, okay.
You don't want one of those shots to miss.
But now, ladies and gentlemen, 8 2-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Introducing first to the scales, she comes to us with a professional record of 10 victories versus 7 defeats, with 3 of those wins coming by way of knockout. From Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, ladies and gentlemen, Farish Mashauri.
You're a good soldier, choosing your battle. Pick yourself up and dust yourself off and back in the saddle. You're on the front line, everyone's watching. You know it's serious, we're getting closer, this isn't over. The pressure's on, you feel it, but you got it all, believe it. When you fall, get up, oh, and if you fall, get up, cause this is Africa.
Official weight 9 stone, 12 pounds for Farish Mashauri.
This time for Africa.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, our next fighter comes to us from London, England, with a perfect, undefeated record of 5 victories, with 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing boxing's next superstar, here is Sweet Caroline Dubois. Official weight 9 stone, 11 pounds for Caroline Dubois.
Sweet Caroline, that lovely smile we see on Caroline's face. Don't be deceived, because when she steps in the ring, Johnny, an absolute demon.
This is another chance to test the yardstick. Mashari's boxed Terry Harper, Chantal Cameron, Natasha Jones. So she's mixed with them. Now we want to see how Natasha handles or dispatches her, and then we can try and make the comparisons of levels.
And I guess the common opponent is Happy Dowdy between the two. The common opponent, Happy Dowdy, between the two. Caroline finished it in a few rounds, whereas Mashani went the distance.
Yeah, I think, you know, the hand speed and the ferocity of Caroline Dubois, you're going to have to be pretty solid to stand up to her. You know, 4 knockouts out of 5 in women's boxing. That's pretty unheard of, really. But it's not just her power, it's her speed, it's her aggression. It's when she's a really good finisher as well. Once she kind of hurts them, she really locks on.
And last time we saw Caroline, 60 seconds is all it took to finish her opponent.
When she starts on a roll and when she lets the shots go, there's no stopping her. She's like Jekyll and Hyde. Gets in the ring. Once she finds she's found the measure of her opponent, she'll make the mistake. She might think she's going to punch herself out, but she's actually committing herself even more to get the shots in. I like how she can switch up in the split second.
She seems to be handling the pressure so well as well. When we spoke to her at the end of last year, when she picked up her 5th consecutive win, she said the biggest learning curve for her in her first year as a pro has been sort of learning the fight week, getting used to all that. Once that's sorted, which it seems to be sort of well on her way, she's flying.
Yeah, well, she's definitely growing into that part of the game as well, and it is part of the game that you have to get used to. You don't want to be overwhelmed by the promotional stuff, but she's looked brilliant so far.
All right, well, let's hear from Caroline now. She's with Andy.
Caroline, a perfect 2022, your first fight of 2023. What do you want to show us on Saturday night? Presumably more of the same, but some improvements as well.
100%. I want to show, power, skill. I want to practice things in there. It's hard sometimes to go in the ring and practice things, so I want to do that if I can. Do
you feel now that your confidence is growing, not just inside the ring, but outside as well? This isn't new, the weigh-in, the interviews, the bright lights.
100%. I'm getting more and more used to it as we do it, just as you said. I feel more relaxed and excited.
Farish Mashari, she has been in with some quality opponents. How important is it for you to go one better than others have?
It's very important to me. I see myself aiming for the best, fighting the best. So these fights are like hurdles for me, and I just have to get over them as quickly as I can. I want to go out there and put in a great performance, a dominant victory, and, just something that is left in people's minds.
You're growing. We know that you're punching harder as well. Do you want to get this done inside the distance tomorrow?
100%, 100%.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone who turned up.
Do we feel another statement coming from Caroline?
You can just sense it. You expect it. And now it's getting to that point. Whenever you see Caroline fight, you're expecting that kind of performance because that's all you get. And so if you're a fan of boxing, if not, she gives you everything you want.
Introducing first to the scales, he comes to us from Harlow by way of Newquay, England, with a perfect, undefeated record of 16 victories, 9 of which coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad, the Newquay Bomb Pauls.
Can't stop, addicted to the shindig. Chop top, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not to life of imitation. Distant closer to the reservation. Defunct the pistol that you pay for. This pump the feeling that you stay for. In time, I want to be your best friend. Eastside love.
Official weight 11 stone, 5 pounds for the Newquay Bomb. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the champion, He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and comes to us with a professional record of 15 victories versus 2 defeats and 3 draws. Fighting out of Rowley, Regis, England, he is the reigning, defending English middleweight champion, Tyler Denny.
Well, woman no wanna bet. Them not go feel violate if you accelerate. Pan a dead, them why you infiltrate. Woman, them why you tear down them wall and them gates in the year. What mistake, woman no wanna bet. Them not go feel violate if you accelerate. Pan a dead, them why you infiltrate. Woman, them why you tear down them wall and them gates in the year. Well, woman, I want no good from a boat where you want you for tell that for tear off his suit. Them no want no dude whenever in the mood and them no want no little boy with no gear.
Official weight 11 stone, 6 pounds for Tyler Denny.
Argument like for divider. Get you right. Woman, no want to bet. Them not gonna feel violate.
Well, both fighters looking peak condition. Denny bang on the money.
Yeah, and I think he showed as well, Tyler Denny, that he can grind out a performance. He can dig in when he has to.
I saw Tyler Denny this morning in the hotel. Don't think he struggles to make the weight at all. All happy and bright and smiling. So again, very confident. But Paul's he's no pushover. It's a tough fight.
Exactly, and Paul's is unbeaten in 16. He's got the momentum, he's got the confidence behind him. How much will that help him?
Yeah, he's the undefeated guy coming in, but then he's got the experience. He's more seasoned. He's been in the trenches, yeah. Exactly.
Last 5 opponents have been unbeaten, so he's a giant killer. He wants to get in there and get the job done. He doesn't care about looking at the records.
What kind of fight are you expecting? What kind of fight are you expecting?
I think Denny will take it to him and try and stick it on him and drag him in.
This contest is for the English middleweight championship. Brad, the Nuki Bomb Pauls
Johnny, do you think Brad will, from the get-go, stick it on Denny, or do you think it could be a bit more measured to start off with?
It needs to be the other way around. Denny needs to stick it on Pauls and really put him under pressure. Yes, he's heavy-handed, but he needs to use pace. That's going to this stage and showing why he's in the position, why he's the holder.
Of course, Denny's English title is on the line as well, so for him, there's a lot to lose.
Yeah, exactly. Like I say, he's been here before. He's been in some tough fights. He's had losses and come back. So,
but that experience, it could be key.
I think that could be the key. I think that will really stand. His seasoning, his experience, that will stand to him, I think, in this fight.
A handshake, which is always good to see, isn't it, for a fight, Johnny? A bit of respect there.
It means nothing until the bell goes.
Exactly. Don't be fooled. Don't be deceived.
Village Hotels and FCI Markets, presented by Boxer, promoted by Ben Shalom, are all fights tomorrow night.
Pauls and Tyler are just getting their T-shirts on and they're getting ready to speak to Andy Scott, and I think we can just about hear from them now.
Well, Big Mo said it there. This fight could steal the show. But one thing, you two, there's no real animosity between the two of you, but that shouldn't get confused. When that first bell rings, we're expecting one hell of a fight. I think your last 6 wins last 6 fights have all come against undefeated opponents. Just how confident are you, and how much confidence does that give you coming into a fight like this against Brad?
I'm super confident, man, and it's from the training, from the results show for itself. Everything's paying off, and tomorrow's going to be the same.
You worked hard to get that belt in some fights that people told you were 50-50 going in. Now you've got it. Do you feel like you've almost grown into that role, that it's brought you on even more?
Yeah, definitely. Just get introduced as the champion, and I feel like I need to show why I'm the champion, and I'm excited, man. Bring on tomorrow.
Just tell us your final prediction, Tyler.
And still.
There's a similarity. You find yourself in a position that he was once, the challenger. Just how confident are you, Brad, on this big stage you can show what you're all about and win that English title?
Yeah, I'm very confident. It's took me a long time to get here, and I'm not here by accident. I've been pro for nearly 7-8 years. I've boxed for nearly 20 years. And it was so hard to get here, I don't plan on giving it up easy. I respect the way Tyler's gone about things, and he's took hard fights, and I want to do exactly what he's done, and I'm going to go and beat the champion.
Your final words to him?
Respect to Tyler. I'll see you on fight night. All the best.
Well done, guys.
Definitely a bit of respect there between the two, Matt.
Yeah, it's nice to see as well. It doesn't always have to be needle or grudge matches for it to be a great fight. So healthy respect. but you can see both of them are bang up for it. They both believe they're the better guy. So I think that'll be a good fight.
With a professional record of 7 victories versus just 2 defeats, 5 of those wins coming by way of knockout. From Watford, England, here is Braveheart, Anis Taj. Official weight 14 stone, 2 pounds, 5 ounces for Braveheart, Anis Taj. And his opponent, coming to the scales, he hails from Tottenham, England. He holds a perfect undefeated record of 7 victories, with 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, the realist, Vidal Riley. Official weight 14 stone, 2 pounds for Vidal Riley.
Empire. That's why you never see me in tape. Catch me in yard, just dip on the ace. Or vids with Harry, not put on raw papes. Right now I'm rejecting forgiveness. Better ask TD Jakes.
So Vidal Riley taking on Anis Taj. Vidal Riley very much on his road. He's very much on the way to something in the cruiserweight division. Now, if you saw anything on Wednesday, what we did see was a little bit of back and forth between Anis Taj and Vidal Riley. Quite surprised, really, because Vidal got involved as well, because he's a cool customer, Johnny, normally.
Taj is a hothead, and Taj is the kind of guy you need to intimidate or show him you've got to fight fire with fire. This fight will let us see how far ahead, how much above Vidal is from a current crop of domestic cruiserweights, because Taj was in the tournament, and so we saw how he boxed in the tournament. I think he lost to Ricky Reeves in the tournament. So we'll see how well Vidal does with him in a tournament that he probably should have gone in himself. But Taj will give it all he's got. He's feisty. He's feisty, so he's not going to be intimidated at all by Vidal.
Feisty, but he's obviously trying to block out any sort of noise or any distractions with his headphones on, Matt. Couldn't hear his Braveheart music.
Hello, but we enjoyed it. No, I think look, he looks bang up for it, but I think that Vidal will be just a little bit too polished for him. I think I've been quite impressed with Vidal. I like his relaxed style, quite smooth.
What do you need to see from him on Saturday? Do you want to see him sort of make a sort of outstanding performance, steal the limelight a bit?
Yes, I do. I was trying to get Taj to fight tonight against my fight in Sheffield, and so when he had this one there, I thought that's actually a good fight to see where Vidal is. And Vidal's a good, clever boxer, so he's got to box and bash and be smart about it. He's got to control a bit of a rough house that's in front of him.
All right, let's hear from both fighters there. Andy.
Anis, I'll come to you first. The headset is on. Is that because you're not interested in what he has to say, or because you're just trying to block out the noise and stay focused?
Talking's done. Time to work.
Will you give us one final prediction before you go?
Talking's done. Time to work.
Talking's not quite done for you. What's your prediction, Vidal?
No, he's right. The talking is done. Tomorrow we get to put hands on each other. I think we've done enough talking this week. He seems very angry, just how we like it. And tomorrow we get him out of there and we move on.
Is this the sort of fight that you're in the game for, though? Anis has played his part this week. He's talked the talk. He's got to walk it now, and he thinks he's very, very confident that he beats you.
This is what the game is about. This is what I train for. I said it earlier in the week. This is what we like, and it's even sweeter when we win.
Best of luck to both of you.
I like this one, Johnny, and what a time to be a cruiserweight.
What a time to be a cruiserweight at whatever level, domestic level, British title level. There's some good fighters in the UK.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the co-main event. Tomorrow night, live on Sky Sports here in Wembley. 10 3-minute rounds for the vacant WBA Continental Super Middleweight Championship. Introducing first, he stands 6 feet, 1 inch tall. He hails from Los Angeles, California, USA, with a professional record of 23 victories versus just 1 defeat and 20 wins. Coming by way of knockout, here is Anthony, the Magician, Sims.
I'm better than the rest. Check out the way I dress and got a lot of money to spend. The best club in town is where I get down. You're lucky if I choose you, my friend. Walk the greatest walk. I got to be the talk. I got the greatest show in town. Ooh, rock with the other men, then roll over to me so I can feel your soul, baby. Ow! Check out the love man, standing tall and bold, can fulfill your needs when too cold, baby. Needless to say, I'm your greatest play.
Official weight, 11 stone, 13 pounds for the Magician. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner tomorrow night, he comes to us from Fulham, England, with a professional record of 12 victories versus just 1 loss and 1 draw. He is the reigning English super middleweight champion. Here is Zach Chili.
The champ is here. I just smash this guy here. The champ is here. It's quite.
The evil genius, Green Lantern.
The champ is here. The champ is here.
Official weight, 11 stone, 13 pounds for Zach Chili.
So both fighters inside the weight. We have a fight in this one, and what a fight it could be. Blend of styles could be really interesting here.
As we go on, I think this Zach Chelly's not the favourite here. Zach Chelly, like it or not, I think they've thrown him in deep. Now he's got to prove his worth. He's got to prove, you know what, I can get rid of this guy here. And Sims is coming confident, full of confidence. How he wants to try and rile up the crowd the second he walks in. He doesn't care. He's not a bad fight at all.
We haven't seen Sims over here for a few years, and I guess he'll be hoping to use this as a chance to sort of announce himself again, to remind people what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, look, you see him dancing up there in that bit of rhythm. I think that'll be the difference in the fight, the rhythm.
He does dance. He is a dancer.
He's got that rhythm. He's got that smooth, slick boxing ability. I think he'll be too skillful, too slick for Chelly. You know, Chelly's intense and he's battle hard and he's seasoned and all that. But Sims is, you know, he's a well-schooled boxer.
USA, Fulham, England, United Kingdom. Anthony the Magician.
We know Sims has got 20 knockouts on his record, and Zach Chelly, he's had a pop at Sims this week, saying that it's because he hasn't really fought anyone of any note. There's a definite spike there, Johnny.
You know, if you get with someone that's a bit of a puncher, right, regardless of how skilled he is, that's the one thing you've got to look out for. And I've seen many fighters getting with punches, and once they've got wobbled, got tagged, they think, why did I make that mistake? So Chile has to be smart and think, right, I've got to box him, keep him long, and pick him off that way. You get involved with punches, and they'll take you out.
Sims just seems as cool as you like, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's enjoying this.
When he was bouncing up then with those baggy jeans in there, I thought it was like the Jackson 5.
I like them.
I
like them. I'd wear them.
G-stars are back in.
That's your outfit sort of for Saturday night, Matt. All right, okay, we can hear from both Zach and from Sims Jr. right now with Andy Scott.
Zach set this fight up for us. It was billed as the wild card. It took everybody by surprise a little bit, but now it's here. We're all really looking forward to it. Just how excited are you and how confident are you that you win this fight?
Yeah, I'm done talking. I just want to hurt this man. That's all it is.
What is it that he has said that not has got under your skin but has upset you?
Just his arrogance, his persona. I just hate it.
How do you win the fight?
By hurting him.
How much of that did you understand and how much of that did you agree with?
I mean, I understand him. I don't understand his father. And arrogance, the nerve. I'm professional, like I said. I'm looking forward to a great night. It's not personal, it's business. But expect me to whoop his... All right.
Yeah, I warned you not to... No cutting, so you can find substitute words.
Yeah, I
but,
did.
yeah, you know, but you can find a substitute one there. You're going to whoop his...
Show you're right.
Okay, right. He says he's going to knock you out.
Many have tried. Have you seen me hit the canvas?
Have I seen you?
Hit the canvas?
No.
Okay, then. But guarantee he's going to hit that canvas.
Good to have you back. Final message to everybody here.
The magician is back. Why you got this thing so low, man? The magician is back, and I plan to make a statement, baby. Yeah.
Best of luck to both of you. Well said.
So we're so used to seeing Zach Chelli, and he's full of confidence. Not saying he's not confident, but something up there, it's like Anthony Sims, he's just stealing the limelight, isn't he? It's all about him. He's making it about him.
Yeah. But he's relaxed and super confident, and he's got that persona. But Chelli's got an angry sort of confidence. You know, he's a very intense guy, isn't he?
Which makes an ingredients for a good fight.
I think that could be the fight of the night. I'd be surprised if it isn't, to be honest.
All right. Okay.
And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the main event tomorrow night from the OVO Arena here in Wembley, live on Sky Sports, presented by Boxer and promoted by Ben Shalom. 10 3-minute rounds. Now for the vacant WBA Continental Super Lightweight Championship. Introducing first to the scales. He is undefeated with 12 victories, 3 of which coming by way of knockout. And he is the reigning WBA Fedecentro Super Lightweight Champion from Managua, Nicaragua. Damas y caballeros, ladies and gentlemen, Santos Starboy Reyes.
Es el hombre que tuvo poder de andar sobre el mar. ¿Quién es el que puede hacer el mar callar? En el momento que la tempestad te quiera hundir.
Official weight, 10 stone even for Starboy Santos Reyes.
Es el hombre que tuvo poder hacer a Israel caminar por entre las aguas del Mar Rojo.
And his opponent. This individual needs no introduction. He is headlining our bill tomorrow night from the OVO Arena here in Wembley. He comes to us with a perfect, undefeated record, 7 victories, 6 of which coming by way of knockout. From Slough, England, ladies and gentlemen, he is the reigning WBC Youth Intercontinental Super Lightweight Champion and is expected to be the new superstar of boxing in the United Kingdom and around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, he is known by the assassin, Adam Azim.
Alright, this match right here. It's crazy.
The evil genius Green Lantern. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. Yeah. Throw your hands up. Throw your hands up. Throw your hands up. Where you at? 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 All they see is black venom in my silhouette.
Official weight, 10 stone even for the assassin, Adam Azim. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our main event.
Well, we're seeing a very confident Adam Azim up there on the scales. This is the battle of the unbeatens. But in terms of Reyes, he's a little bit... We don't quite know yet, do we? We don't quite know what Adam Azim is facing tomorrow evening.
That's probably why he's unbeaten. People look at him. He doesn't look all that. He doesn't look... You think, what's he done? Maybe he's not really boxed anybody. Adam doesn't need to make that his concern. His concern is to get out there and get the job done, because this isn't going to be the first unbeaten fighter he's in there against. So this is about confidence and self-belief. It's not about looking at what your opponent's all about.
And Azim does seem to have that confidence and self-belief, and also the team around him. You speak to Shane McGuigan, and there is a lot of excitement about Adam Azim coming from Shane McGuigan, saying he's quite possibly the most talented fighter that he has trained.
Yeah, that's a fair statement when you look at some of the kids that Shane has trained. So, look, we can only go on what we've seen so far, and he's looked $1 million, albeit against, you know, opposition that he should look good against, but he really has dealt with them in impressive fashion and stuff. You know, he won everything as a junior, nowhere near the finished article, but he's getting better every time.
We keep saying, will he get some rounds on Saturday night, tomorrow night? But we said exactly the same when he faced Ryland Charlton at Ali Pali. We thought he was going to be in a tougher test, perhaps, than he actually was, Johnny.
This should be his toughest test. On paper, it should be his toughest test. He might be in there with someone that's very durable, never lost before, so therefore he's very confident, expects the win, doesn't know what losing as a professional's like. So, again, it's another tough test for Adam on paper.
Thank you once again to the official provider of today's weigh-ins. Wow.
Getting used to headlining now, though, for Adam Azim, and it's still pretty early on in his career, but he's getting used to it.
Yeah, well, he's being groomed for stardom, isn't he? So, like you mentioned about Caroline Dubois, it's not just the fights and development. She's got
the whole package.
Tactics as well.
All right, okay, well, let's hear from Adam. He's with Andy Scott.
Adam, nothing between you on the scales, and there's that language barrier, so there's no back and forth verbally. But what did you see when you looked into Santos Reyes' eyes, and what's your prediction for Saturday?
Well, you know, the objectives remains the same. So, you know, every outcome, every fight, is going to be the same on Saturday night.
Great atmosphere in here today when you went up on the scales. You really are building this fan base now.
Yeah, most definitely, you know. I'm, getting these spectacular knockouts. And Saturday night, you guys are going to see another spectacular knockout.
Do you just feel that your confidence is growing from fight to fight? We're not seeing too much of you because you're ending them in the first round, but in terms of confidence, do you feel that each fight you are getting better?
Most definitely. I'm very confident, and I can't wait for Saturday night.
Have you got a final message to everyone?
Yeah, don't blink.
Good luck.
Don't blink from Adam Azim. He's not thinking this is going long, is he? He's looking to make a statement. Very much so, Matt.
Well, he comes out fast every time, doesn't he? He's got great hand speed. We know he carries power. And I think he likes knocking guys out early and making statements. So I expect him to come out and try and do the same. But, you know, his opponent is undefeated. He's probably a step up. And, you know, I hope we do get rounds. I hope we do see him under a bit of pressure to see how he copes with that. But I wouldn't hold my breath on it, because the way this kid is progressing, the self-belief he's got, I wouldn't be shocked if he comes out.
Are we right to be hyping him up as we are?
I think we have every right to be. There's nothing he's done wrong. There's nothing that you look at and think, why? We've done it before in the past. We've been right some of the times. Adam, how he talks when it comes to boxing, is on point, direct, no nonsense, and he's not disrespectful with it. He doesn't need to be disrespectful with it. So he's saying don't blink because he knows what he intends on doing in there. I think Shane McGuigan, the problem for Shane will be holding this young man back when he senses that the shot's there, when he senses he can get the shot out. So I think with Adam, we've got every right to get excited and go along with the story. Be prepared to be upset or surprised. But I think he's a great addition to professional boxing in the UK.
So I say that we provide a lot of the hype, but Adam puts actually a lot of pressure on himself, doesn't he? He's wanting to be European champion this year. He's saying things like he wants to become the youngest ever British world champion. You know, that's the sort of goals that he is putting on himself.
Yeah, but we're only hyping him because of the performances that he's producing. He can say he wants to do this, that and the other, but if he wasn't producing the goods in the ring, we wouldn't be hyping him. But he is delivering spectacular knockouts. He's beating guys quicker than anyone else has beaten them. Yeah, it's at a level so far, but he's only a young kid, so everything he's done has been perfect so far, and that we're getting excited about him. Everyone's raving about him, and rightly so.
If you could pick one thing that you want to see from him on Saturday night, perhaps something that we haven't seen before. We know he's got the speed, we know he's got the talent. What would you like to see?
I'd like to see rounds, but we're only going to see that if the opponent's good enough and tough enough to take him there. And so far, they've tried to step him up, but the opponents have just, as soon as he catches them, and they go over. He carries proper power. You can see it, and he's got that speed as well.
I'd like to see him in a situation that he can't control. I want to see how his character handles that. So if he's in a situation where he's hurt with a body shot or something like that, I'd just like to see how he handles the mental pressure of that. Not the shot itself, because some fighters panic when they hurt. Some fighters aren't smart enough and instinctive enough to protect themselves one way or another. So I'd just like to see what that side there is of him.
We also have to say as well, it's going to be a busy night, isn't it, for Shane McGuigan, because he's got Adam, he's got Caroline Dubois, and of course he's got Hassan. I mean, that's a lot for Shane to manage as well. We often forget talking about that, don't we?
Johnny would have had that with Brendan Ingle and Naz and him and all. I had it with Billy Graham a little bit. I think there was 6 or 7 of us on the one card at one night. But it's a brilliant buzz in the gym when you're all training for those nights.
And I guess you feed off. If other people win, that sort of helps your performance and your preparation.
You've got to keep your emotions in check, because somebody you'd expect to win, if he lost, then you've got to keep the spirits high in the gym. And it's like probably a dysfunctional family. All the guys from the gym that are battling with each other are in the dressing room fighting for each other with each other against everybody else. So Shane's got to be professional, get the job done, forget about that, move on, be positive to the next fight coming through. But success breeds success, and he has a successful gym on his hands.
Okay, put your money where your mouth is. Main event prediction.
I think an early finish. I think he'll make a statement again. Honestly, I think it's gonna be someone good that can stand up to Adam Azim. And even though this guy's undefeated, I don't know if he's at that level to do that.
Johnny?
I think he'll probably take Adam longer than anybody else has, but I don't see it going the distance.
But essentially, we're going to be seeing that bat flip celebration. That's essentially what we're all
Without
saying.
a doubt.
Okay, good. I often say this, but it really, really is a cracking night of action, isn't it, to look forward to. Make sure you join us tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock, Sky Sports Arena, and also on Main Event. We'll see you then.